What if everything you know about the beginning of humanity is wrong? What if the very first humans weren't just Adam and Eve, but a whole other group of people who were created before them, and their story has been hidden in plain sight for centuries? Yeah, I'm talking about a secret buried deep in Genesis that changes everything. Picture this. God speaks and humanity is born. But Genesis doesn't just tell one creation story, it tells two. What if those first humans created in Genesis 1 weren't the same as Adam and Eve in Genesis 2? What does that mean for us today? What if humanity was much bigger, much more diverse, and filled with other people before Adam ever walked into the garden? In this video, we're going to uncover the biggest secret hidden in plain sight about the beginning of the world. We'll dive deep into the creation stories, explore the humans created in God's image outside the garden, and unlock the mystery behind why this was all kept hidden until now. This truth will shake everything you thought you knew about the Bible. If you're ready to discover this hidden truth, hit that like, subscribe, and share this with everyone you know. Trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Let's uncover the secrets of humanity's origins together. What if I told you everything you know about humanity's beginning is wrong? What if I told you there were humans created before Adam and Eve? That's right. You've probably never heard about them, but there was an entire group of humans made in God's image before the first couple even stepped into the Garden of Eden. Mind-blowing, right? And guess what? The Bible's been hiding it in plain sight all along. You're probably thinking, how could we have missed this? But that's the thing. Genesis, the very foundation of our existence, isn't just a simple creation story. It's a huge mystery with layers upon layers that most of us have completely overlooked. The creation of humanity isn't just about Adam and Eve. It's about a divine design far greater than we've realized, with multiple humans created at once, all reflecting God's image. Genesis 1 says God created man in his image, male and female together. But Genesis 2 shifts the story to Adam, formed from the dust, placed in the Garden of Eden with a specific mission. This sudden change in narrative begs the question, were there two separate creations? And if so, what does that mean for us today? In this video, we're going to uncover the biggest secret you've never been told about humanity's origins. This isn't just about the past, it's about your present and your future. What we're diving into today will completely change the way you see the world and your place in it. So buckle up. If you've ever wondered who we really are and why we're here, this is your moment. Hit that like, subscribe, and share to spread this life-changing truth to everyone who needs to hear it. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. The hidden truth of Adam's purpose, the divine mission you've never heard of. Here's the kicker. Adam wasn't just some random guy made from dust. He was created with purpose. God didn't just make him to walk on the earth. He made Adam to reflect his image and carry out a divine mission. But here's the twist. Adam's creation was more than just survival. It was about intimacy with God. Adam was placed in the garden to walk with God, to live in relationship with the creator of the universe. But here's the crazy part that'll blow your mind. You're part of that same mission. That's right. The purpose God gave Adam wasn't just for him. It's for you, too. God's breath, that divine spark that he breathed into Adam, lives in you today. You were made in God's image, just like Adam, to reflect his glory, to create, to build, and to walk in relationship with him. So, here's the big question for you. What are you doing with that purpose? Are you walking in the garden, living out your divine mission, or are you like Cain, wandering off into the wilderness, building your own cities, disconnected from the divine plan? It's time to step into your purpose and live like you were meant to, reflecting God's glory and changing the world around you. Just like Adam, You have a choice. You can either step into your calling, walk in the purpose God has given you, and live with intimacy with Him, or you can wander and miss out on everything you were created to be. The power is in your hands. But here's the good news. You're not alone in this journey. Just as God sent Adam a helper, He has sent you everything you need to fulfill your purpose, through Jesus, the second Adam, who restored what was lost. So what are you waiting for? It's time to reflect God's image, walk in your purpose, and change the world with the power He's placed inside you. Now, hit that like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. Let's build something incredible together, reflecting God's glory, walking in divine purpose, and fulfilling the mission He's set before us. Cain's fear. Who did he fear, and why does it matter to you? Imagine being banished from the one place where everything felt perfect, sent out into the unknown, with nothing but the weight of your sin on your shoulders. That's exactly what happened to Cain. But here's the mind-blowing part. Cain wasn't just worried about being alone in the wilderness. He was terrified of other people. What? There were others living outside Eden. How could that be? If only Adam, Eve, and Cain existed, who were these mysterious people Cain feared? This isn't just a little plot hole. It's a huge revelation that flips everything we thought we knew about humanity. Cain wasn't the first to walk the earth. He wasn't the only human around. When God marked him to protect him from the wrath of these people, it confirmed something huge. There were others, made in God's image, living on the earth long before Adam's line spread across it. Now think about this. If there were people before Adam and Eve, what does that tell us about the way God designed humanity? Why were these people made, and what role did they play? Genesis 1 tells us, humanity was created in God's image to multiply, rule, and fill the earth. But those humans were never in the garden. They didn't share the intimate relationship that Adam and Eve did with God. They were made to populate the earth, while Adam was created for something far deeper, a covenant, a relationship that would change the entire course of humanity. And here's the game changer. Even though they were created differently, God still had a plan for them. They were part of the story, part of the bigger picture, just like you and I are. Every person, regardless of their origins, is made in the image of God, and even though their story is often overlooked, it speaks to the power of divine design. This isn't just about Cain or Adam, it's about all of us, and the choices we make as we walk through life. The cities of Cain. Where did they come from, and what does it mean for you? Now let's dive into one of the most incredible parts of Cain's journey. He doesn't just wander off into an empty wilderness. He builds a city out of nothing. This isn't some random detail. It's proof that humanity was never just getting by. Cain wasn't just trying to survive. He was building, creating something that would last. And here's the question. Where did these people come from? How could a city appear so suddenly? Cain was alone, right? Or so we thought. But just like Cain, the humans of Genesis 1 were designed for a purpose. They weren't chosen for the covenant relationship Adam had, but they were still part of God's plan to multiply, to build, to create the foundation of civilization. Cain's city wasn't just a random act, it was the beginning of something bigger, the start of a global story that stretches across generations. These first humans, though different from Adam's line, were still following God's blueprint in their own way. They were called to build and to create, just like we are today. The fact that Cain could build a city so quickly shows us that humanity was always meant to grow, to thrive, and to shape the world in powerful ways. This wasn't just about surviving, it was about creating something that reflected the glory of God. They weren't living in Eden, but they were living, and that's powerful. Now let me ask you something. What are you building today? Are you like Cain, constructing something out of nothing? Are you fulfilling the divine purpose God has set for you? Because here's the thing. You have that same divine breath in you. The same breath that gave Adam life, the same breath that drove Cain to create, is in you. It's not about the world you live in. It's about what you do with it. The incredible thing is, we are all part of this same mission. Whether we're walking with God in the garden, building cities in the wilderness, or reflecting His image in our everyday lives, the purpose remains the same. To create, to multiply, and to bring His glory to the world. You are part of that story, and the choices you make today, how you build, how you create, how you walk in God's purpose, are shaping the world in ways you might not even realize. So, let's reflect. Cain was called to create, and so are you. We're all builders. Whether you're building your future, your family, or your faith, the legacy we leave behind starts now. Let's build something incredible together. And if this video has opened your eyes, if it's inspired you to reflect God's glory and fulfill your divine mission, hit that like, subscribe, and share this with others who need to hear it. The world needs to hear this message, and together we can change everything. The secret behind Cain's legacy. A purpose you've been ignoring. Imagine this. You've just been cast out of paradise. You've made a mistake so massive it echoes through the ages. But instead of just wandering aimlessly, you do something even more incredible. You create, you build, you start a legacy. Cain, the first son of Adam and Eve, is often remembered for his sin, his murder of his brother Abel. But there's something much deeper in his story, something we often overlook. After being cast out of Eden, Cain didn't just survive in the wilderness. He built a city. A city, and not just any city, but the foundation of human civilization. How could he do that? Where did these people come from? And what does this mean for you? Cain's fear of others is the key here. He wasn't just worried about wandering in the wilderness alone. He feared for his life, fearing that others might kill him. If only Adam, Eve, and Cain existed, who could he possibly be afraid of? This was the first clue that there was more to humanity than we were taught. Cain encountered people, humans created in the image of God but living outside of Adam's covenant with God. They were created before Adam, and they had their own divine purpose. Now, what does this mean for you? Cain's legacy isn't just about fear and murder. It's about creating, about building something that lasts. Just like Cain, we all have the power to create and shape the world. Even when we think we've failed, we have the ability to start something new. Cain's story reminds us that no matter where we start, we can still build something that reflects God's glory in the world. It's about choosing to create something beautiful, something divine, out of the chaos and brokenness of life. The cities of Cain. What it means to build something that lasts. Cain didn't just leave Eden and disappear into the wilderness. He did something extraordinary. He built a city. Imagine that. You're exiled. Everything is against you. Yet you don't just survive. You thrive. You create. You build a legacy. But here's the kicker. Where did Cain get the people to build a city? How did this happen so quickly? Cain's journey wasn't just a fall into darkness. It was a rise into something new, something bigger than anyone could have imagined. He didn't just wander. He created. And this speaks volumes about the power of human creation. Cain wasn't alone. He wasn't starting from scratch. The people around him weren't just random. They were part of the divine plan. They had a purpose too. They were created before Adam and Eve, and their mission was different. They were here to populate the earth, to multiply and grow, to build something powerful. Just like Cain, These people were created to shape the world, just like you are today. What does this mean for you? It means that no matter where you are in life, no matter what mistakes you've made, you still have the power to create. You have the power to build your future, to build your legacy, and to reflect God's glory. Whether you're starting something small or building something huge, the power is in your hands to create a world that mirrors God's plan for the earth. Cain didn't know the future of his city, but he started. That's what matters. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to begin, just like Cain did, and trust that God is working through you. The great divide of humanity, why you must recognize the diverse paths. Now, let's go deeper. The story of Cain, of the people before Adam, is bigger than we've ever realized. Genesis 1 tells us that humanity was created in God's image, male and female together. But Genesis 2 zooms in on one man, Adam, who was made from dust and placed in the Garden of Eden with a specific mission. So here's the real question. Why two different creation stories? And more importantly, what does this mean for you? Here's where it gets wild. The people of Genesis 1 created together were designed to multiply, to fill the earth, to rule over creation. But Adam's line, starting with him, was chosen to walk in intimate relationship with God, to build a covenant relationship. The first humans made in Genesis 1 were meant to populate the earth, but Adam was called to do something deeper, something divinely intimate with God. But here's the truth we've been missing. The people created before Adam were part of the same divine plan. They just had a different purpose. Adam's line had the covenant, but that doesn't mean the others weren't important. They were simply on a different path, a path that led to the filling of the earth, the multiplying of humanity, and the creation of the foundation for what would come next. This truth changes everything about how we view ourselves. We are not just part of one family tree. We are part of a divine story, a story where multiple paths intersect and work together for the glory of God. It shows us that humanity is not a one-size-fits-all story. Some of us are called to one thing, others to another. But together, we all reflect God's glory and are working toward the fulfillment of His plan for the earth. So what does this mean for you? It means that you are a part of something bigger. Whether you're just starting out, whether you're building cities, or whether you're reflecting God's glory in everyday life. Your path might look different from someone else's, but it's all part of the same divine design. Embrace your journey, build your legacy, and know that every step you take is part of God's great plan for the world. The divine purpose you carry, why you must fulfill it now. This is the moment to realize that you are made for greatness. Just like the people who walked before Adam, just like Adam himself, you were made with a divine purpose, a calling, a mission. You were designed to create, to build, to reflect God's image on earth. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now, build now, reflect God's glory now. You have everything inside you to change the world. The same breath God gave to Adam lives in you. The same breath that gave Adam purpose, that gave Cain the strength to build a city, lives inside you today. Are you reflecting that breath? Are you living out your divine purpose? It's time to step into it, to start building the legacy that will last for generations. The question is, will you do it? Will you start creating today, building your city, your legacy, your life for God's glory? The choice is yours, and you can't afford to wait any longer. Let's make this happen, together. The story of humanity begins with a divine act of creation, but it's not just about the what, it's about the why. Every single one of us is part of a plan, a divine purpose that stretches far beyond anything we see in front of us. We've been given life, not just to exist, but to reflect the image of the Creator Himself. The question is, are we living out that divine purpose? Genesis tells us that humanity was created in God's image, and from the moment of creation, we've been called to walk in relationship with God, to reflect His glory, and to fill the earth with His goodness. But let's be honest for a moment. How often do we forget that? How often do we get lost in the noise, in the distractions, in the battles of everyday life? How often do we forget that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves? What you might not realize is that the story of Adam and Eve, the story of the first humans, isn't just a history lesson. It's a living, breathing story that continues to unfold today, with you and me as its active participants. The breath of life that God gave Adam is still in you. That same breath, that divine spark, is what drives you, moves you, gives you purpose. But the real question is, what are you doing with that breath? So many of us live as if we are just here to survive. But survival is not why we were created. We were created to live in partnership with God, to reflect His nature, to create, to build, and to change the world. That's what it means to walk in your purpose. It's about fulfilling the mission that was set before you the moment you were made in God's image. But here's the challenge. How often do we really live that purpose? How often do we go through the motions, thinking we're just another face in the crowd, when in reality, we were created to do something extraordinary? The truth is, we all have a divine calling on our lives, and it's not too late to step into it. No matter where you're at, no matter what mistakes you've made, God still has a plan for you. He hasn't abandoned you, and He's still breathing life into you every day. Think about Cain. He was exiled, cast out of paradise, but instead of just fading away, he built something, a city, a legacy, even in the wilderness. That's the power of creation. No matter where we come from, no matter how far we fall, we still have the power to create, to rebuild, and to reflect God's glory. You have that power in you right now. Right now. This isn't about just surviving or getting by. It's about thriving. It's about stepping into the purpose God has set before you and making the most of it. What's stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from reflecting God's glory in everything you do? The truth is, you were made for greatness, just like Adam. You were made to build, to reflect, and to create something that lasts. And here's the exciting part. God isn't just waiting for you to figure it out on your own. He's already made a way for you. Through His Son, Jesus, the bridge was restored. The same God who breathed life into Adam breathed life into us through Jesus, bringing us back into relationship with God. Jesus is the second Adam, restoring what was lost, giving us the ability to walk in the same purpose that Adam was called to in the beginning. So the question becomes, are you walking in that purpose? Are you living with the awareness that you were created to do something extraordinary? The amazing part is that you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect or until you feel ready. The time is now. If this video has touched your heart, if it's opened your eyes to a deeper truth about who you are and why you're here, I want to invite you to partner with me in sharing this message. Your support, whether it's through a like, a comment, or a share, helps us continue bringing this message to the world. Every single action you take to spread this truth is making a difference. So if you've been moved, if this has given you clarity, or even just a small spark of hope, hit like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we can reflect God's glory and live out the divine purpose we were created for. Let's walk this journey together and bring light into every dark corner of this world. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Your support means more than you can imagine, and I can't wait to see what we'll do next. Let's change the world.